what's going on, guys? So today we're talking about the best-selling cards under $5 or less. It's the Yu-Gi-Oh! Penny Stock Market Watch. I do want to say this is best match. Let's do best-selling. Okay, this is really still one of the best-selling cards. Pay $1,500, declare type attribute. Your opponent must send that. One monster they control that has that to the graveyard. Also, they cannot activate that for the rest of this turn. Interesting. I've read this card before. I just had to reread it. What happened? Is there a specific thing that this card does? What, like... It's so wild to me, and this is, why I always ask at the end of every video to comment what cards you think are under $5 left. I think I said this to somebody a month or so ago, and one of the comments was like, I'm never going to know as much as the collective comment section. Like, maybe individually we can go back and forth, because I've been, I've been buying and selling Yu-Gi-Oh cards for almost a decade now. Like, so it's not anything, like, I don't usually get surprised by certain things, but, like, this is definitely a surprise. I don't disagree with the fact that it's a decent card. There's probably something in the OCG, because I don't really pay attention to the OCG, so I've noticed if there's something I'm missing, it's usually because it happens in the OCG. And I will just say, we have two different ban lists, and we have two different, like, thought processes. Like, the idea that because it's the exact same game in the OCG, so we're going to get the same great card. Like, the cards that are good over there are going to be good over here. The decks that are good over there are going to be good over here. It's just not true. And it's not just because the ban list is different. Like, people just think different in the OCG. Like, the way they're raised, their values, principles. Like, I don't want to get into total psychology of, like, how people think based on where they live. But that's why the meta in, like, Latin America or South America is different than the meta in Europe, which is different than the meta in the United States, which is even different in the different subsections of the United States. Like, the Midwest is different than the Southwest United States. So, like, even, like, individual locals are different. But the idea that if this card is making waves, I mean, it's not a terrible card, right? Like, you can activate this card, declaring, I don't know, I think Machine Fire. I think that's what a Rise Heart is. And it sends a Rise Heart to the grave. I don't know. I don't know why this card is here. It's pretty decent. I believe it's pretty decent against archetypes with multiple boss monsters of the same type and attribute. But overall, this is a bad buy. I would sell these if you had them. I don't think that this is a great card, but I'm probably missing something. I don't know. I think it's a terrible buy, but that is just my humble opinion. Shout out to the Gold Pride cards, making their way after the new support. Shot up real high. It's starting to cool off. I think it's still got time to cool off. I wouldn't go too crazy on that just quite yet. We've talked about Gold Pride, though, before, so I don't want to dive too deep into it now. How many versions of this is there? There's just two. There is just two, and this is a common. I did not know that. This is just a common. It was 10 cents and is now 24 cents. See what this looks like. It shot back down to 21.18 and is now at 25 cents. I would definitely... Well, the thing is with a card like this, like... You could go to, like, Pro Play Games, for example, buy 51 copies of these. I have to... oh, okay, no, it's all still there. You can buy 51 copies of these for $10, just on the off chance that this 25 cent... went a little too far back. On this 25 cent card, or I think it was 20 cents, even, for that version. Just on the off chance that it ends up going really, really big. I will probably be doing that, to be honest. I mean, I usually do the things that I tell you, but I it shouldn't be like that big of a secret. I don't do everything that I say to buy or sell in these market watches. I know it's kind of like the curtain going out from behind to reveal the Wizard of Oz. But no, I don't always do things, but I do usually buy cards that I say are going to be good buys. And with this, 20 cents, on the off chance it becomes $1, that's, if I'm good at math, that's an 80-cent profit over the course of 50 cards, which isn't really that much. I think it's somewhere around 30 to 40, or it's actually, no, it is $40. But that's not bad though, and that's for penny stock Yu-Gi-Oh cards. That's pretty good. Now obviously the more interesting version is the super rare version, especially because, at least for me in particular, if I'm buying, like, let's say I want to play Super Heavy Samurai, which we actually might take a look at Super Heavy Samurai as an archetype. Actually, I think I'm gonna do that next. But the new cards are probably going to be more expensive. But there are a lot of Super Heavy Samurai cards. But if I'm playing an archetype like Super Heavy Samurai, if the highest rarity of a card is under $5, I'm probably going to get the highest rarity. Now, if there's this huge discrepancy where, like, the highest rarity, and we do see this sometimes with cards, like Allure of Darkness, for example. We talked about that card. I mean, honestly, we could probably go to the first page that we were just at, if I don't go back too far, like I just did. Like, looking for like a, not really Parallel Z. We maybe Volcanic Rocket. I think Volcanic Rocket's gonna be a good example. That's right. This is a speed duel version of Volcanic Rocket. Like this. Okay, perfect example. So like the secret rare version of Volcanic Rocket is, and I know the new Volcanic stuff just came out. Did this get bought out? Geez, it's $100. Did I miss? Wait, this is a lot. This is a huge amount. But anyway, so this is about, let's just say, once the buyout cools out, it'll probably be like $30 or $40, right? Or I can get the one that just came out, or even the one from the Fire King structure deck for 50 cents, right? If that's the case, then I'll just go with the cheapest, lowest rarity I can find. But when the discrepancy is like this, where it's like 10 cents for the cheapest, $1 for the most expensive, that's where maybe I'll lean more, or like the highest rarity, most expensive. That's where I'll lean more towards the one with the highest rarity. Now, this one I feel like without a doubt has more potential. Like I said, the common version of this card has like, I will say the common version is the original version, so that does kind of help it. But the common version of this card, I feel like maxes out at $1, but this could max out at $5, right? So if we play the exact same game where we go to, trading card elites, and we'll even buy the exact same amount because they're selling 74. We'll do 51, add to cart. Now, of course, we have to get rid of, well, it's $70. It is $78 if you want to do both. If you want to try both of these things. Right, so if we just get rid of that and we just say $66 for 51 cards, and then it turns into $5, that's $250, I believe. 5 times 50 is $250. Yeah, and I did the math in my head there for a second. So we're looking at about about $180, $190 profit. We'll just say $170 for shipping, handling, and different things like that. That's fantastic. Like, that's exactly what you're looking for. Now you ask, well, is that possible? Is it possible that this could be one day a $5 card? If Super Heavy Samurais perform better, I went too far back again. If they perform better than I think some people are projecting, because the people are definitely thinking it's going to be a good deck, but I don't think it's going to be the best deck. But depending on the ban list and depending on how we play with this archetype as a TCG, it could be really good, right? Like, if the Therion Machine monster gets banned, this card's not hitting $5. But if this archetype takes off and does better than expected, because it is still an unknown, Super Heavy Samurais are still really bad right now. Like, I understand when the new stuff comes out, which I think it comes out this week. Is that when? It comes out soon. I believe it comes out either the first week of May or this week. Then Super Heavy Samurai is going to be better. But when this stuff right now, though, this is not, it's not that good of an archetype, right? So if we look at Super Heavy Samurai stuff, though, right, we just take a look at all of it. That's for this card. I participated in the buyout of this card. It did not go well, but it's okay. If we look at some of this stuff, this is a tricky archetype, and I've mentioned this before. I'll just mention it again. If you're buying these, Konami's doing a lot of legacy support. So, like, Volcanics just got some support. Nateria just got some support. Super Heavy Samurai is about to get some support. Hopefully, Gishki, Battery Man, or Fire King, my 3 favorite decks of all time, get some support. And Gishki actually did. Gishki actually did get some support. I shouldn't say that. Gishki actually did or is. I don't know. I remember hearing about the Gishki support, and it has a cool interaction with Sprite, but I don't remember exactly when it coming out. I guess I can take a look at that real quick. But, hopefully Fire King and Battery Man get some support at some point, because those would be it'd be really cool. And that's really cool that Konami's doing that. It's really cool that, the new support hasn't come out for this stuff yet. It's really cool that Konami is... Oh, wait, yeah, it has. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is the new support. It came out Photon, Hypernova. Okay. But anyway. Point that I'm trying to make is this. Gishki, Volcanics, Naterias, Super Heavy Samurai. Be very careful buying it in bulk, right? Like, be very careful yelling out at your locals, because I know people do this all the time, so, you're not weird if you do this. I was doing this one time with Skull Servants, so shout out to that. Where you go, does anybody have Super Heavy Samurai stuff, right? Be very careful what you end up buying, right? Because this is a good example of what I'm talking about. Where if I look at this, I know this person, I don't know their name, Wolfie 10, no world with them. 2 Soul Piercers, you need 3. You definitely need 3 scales. You need 3 of those. It's cool you're getting 3 of those. And then you're just getting a lot of other, this section over here. You don't really need that. I mean, you do need some of the Synchro Monsters. Obviously, you need Scarecrow. Just be careful with what you're buying. This looks really solid. This is just all of the new stuff. That's supposed to be coming out in SEAC, which is Cyberstorm Access. So, yeah, I think that Super Heavy Samurai has always been ridiculously budget, but I don't know if that's going to continue to be the case going forward. If we look at just this page, Gloves is okay. It's crazy. We'll actually change it to high to low. It's crazy. Just all of these cards are used to be pennies, literal pennies. I guess some of them still are. This card is okay. So that's about 5 cents. I think Drum is okay, but it's not that great. This is okay. The scales are good. The older scales are okay. Magnet is straight. Magnet's not that bad. None of these cards here are that great. I think Transporter is actually good. Is this the one that allows you to stop targeting? It is not. Okay, so there's a lot of Super Heavy Samurai cards, so it's a good amount of looking. Soul Horns is decent. Wagon is a must-have. You need Wagon. You need Scarecrow. So we're looking at about $2 for a playset of both of those. I don't think you need Cannon. A lot of these you don't need. I mean, if you want to pick them up because they're super cheap and just to mess around with it, you can. But really, Super Heavy Samurais aren't really a deck. They're more of an engine. You really run, from what I've seen, a lot of lists are running 3 Ash, 3 Droll, 3 Nib, and then just machine stuff, like the Therion card, and there's an Infitrack in there, Ancient Gearbox, etc. I don't think you need multiple Big Benkies, but Big Benki's not too bad. So we're on the first page already. Okie dokie. Like I said, you do need a playset of. Okay, so Flutus is the one I was thinking about. So you do need a playset of Flutus at least. Flutus is a really, really good card. At least in my opinion. Does a lot of really good. Is it from hand or deck? It's just from hand, unfortunate. But it still stops targeting, which I think is really good. Trumpeter is decent, but unfortunately Trumpeter does stop you from summoning other cards. I don't think it's during, though. I think it's for the rest of the turn. For the rest of the turn, yeah. So there's that. Trumpeter is a really good card, though, if you don't care about the restriction. But then obviously Soul Peacemaker, Soul Piercer, and Scales are probably the most expensive stuff. So if we take a look at that, and they have, as far as their Synchro Monsters are concerned, their Synchro Monsters are pretty decent. I know they have a a Heavy Storm. This one takes a set spell and trap, which they do. This one might be the Heavy Storm. Yes. Oh, it's Harpies. Excuse me. It's not a Heavy Storm. But you don't run spells and traps. I mean, you have cards in your Pendulum Scale, but so anyway, we're looking at like where we at $2 for a playset of the last cards we had just said. So we're looking at like $2 for 2 of these. This is interesting. Wow, this is an expensive card. So $5 to $10 for 2 of those. So we're at 14. I like Flutus. Probably 6 for a playset. Yeah. We'll even say 7 for a playset. So that's 21. So 21. I don't think you need Trumpeter. I think Trumpeter is something you should probably pick up, though, just to have it. To be honest, like Trumpeter is a good card, but it's not a great card because of the restriction. If it didn't have that restriction, it'd be fantastic, and maybe even bannable. Like it actually is just like a genuinely really good card. Playset of that $750. I think we're at $28.50, right? So let's just say 30 in case my math is off. And I'm really just, like I said, just pricing out what a Super Heavy Samurai deck might look like. At least just the Super Heavy Samurai part of it. Peacemaker or Soul Peacemaker is probably heavily plays are 7, so that's 21 already. So we're at 42. Soul Piercer is probably also 7 apiece. So yep. So that's 21 plus 42 is 63. And then Scales obviously is a really, really good card. So 63. And then so like 8. We'll just say 9 times 3 is 27. That's actually 90. And then, yeah, so about 90 for, we'll just say $100. So $100 for all of the old Super Heavy Samurai stuff. And then for Cyberstorm Access, which comes out in 2 weeks, to answer that question, there is no pre-sale so far. So you're looking at the cards on eBay for about $50. So you're looking at about 150, 160 for the Super Heavy Samurai archetype. Now, before you get too excited, I will say, okay, boxes, pennies. You do need these 2 for the combo. Are you serious? This has 1 printing? Why does this have 1 printing? I guess you can get French versions if you'd like. That's wild. And then we'll just do this and we'll be done. King Regulus. That's right. That's the machine one. Yeah, I kind of figured. I think I mentioned this on the regular market watch to pick this up when it was a little bit cheaper. Now it's going back up. So that's fun. So yeah, it's probably gonna be about $400 to $500 for a Super Heavy Samurai deck. Especially when you factor in all of the hand traps that you have to run, the going second cards that you have to run. Baron the Floor is ran in the archetype. So there is a lot for the Super Heavy Samurai deck. But I just wanted to map it out for you because it has customarily been a very budget-friendly deck. It has been one of the better, like, budget to how good the deck is ratios. I don't know if I've ever talked about this card on a Market Watch. Is there a specific reason? I saw MCO40 was talking about this card, but I don't know what he said because I didn't watch the video. Is there a specific reason why Santa Claus is up in value? I guess, okay, so Santa Claus is no longer a penny stock, so I'll say this. Make sure you guys subscribe, and I'll talk about this on the regular Market Watch, and I'll watch the MCO40 video, so I can at least be a little more educated as to why Santa Claus is so expensive, because I actually just don't know. But it's not a penny stock, so I'm not really going to talk about it. Ghost Ogre is a really good buy right now. Ghost Ogre is really good against Super Heavy Samurai, because Ghost Ogre has always been really good against Pendulum. I like the Dual Devastator version the best as far as which one to buy because it is the only alternate art that exists. But I don't think there is a common Ghost Ogre, is there? Well, yeah, there is. I have them. I think there's commons, right? Yeah, from the All-Bat Strike, yeah. That just came out, so. Ghost Ogre, it's not a great buy, though. I don't think there's, like, a super amount of value that could be gained off of Ghost Ogre because it literally, like, the All-Bat Strike structure deck just came out. This is from the 2022 Megatins, Prismatic Secret Rare. Like, it's got a lot of reprints, but it is a really, really good card against the Super Heavy Samurai deck. And Parallel Exceed common version is up here, too. It's just an absolutely fantastic card. I have a bunch of, and I've already started to sell a bunch of the Prismatic Secret Rare ones. I've been waiting for the day for this card to be $5. I feel like it's going to happen any day now. But let me know what you guys think. What are the best selling cards under $5 or less that you were looking for? Let me know in those comments down below. Make sure you guys click that like button to show your support for the channel. Subscribe for even more content. If there is a deck that you want me to price out and look at, like, hey, how expensive is this deck? Let me know in those comments down below as well. But most importantly of all, have a good day.